In the fall of 1996, Oasis returned to England after their US tour had imploded in an ugly feud between brothers Liam and Noel Gallagher. Still, they were certified rock stars, and they were playing the part like never before.
They began getting a little carried away at this point. They almost had become caricatures of themselves. When anything happened for Oasis, this was front page news. They were now the biggest celebrities in the country.
They were officially living the rock excess lifestyle. I mean, it was girls, it was drugs, it was booze, it was brawling, it was feuds with other rock stars, it was exorbitant spending.
Liam was always getting into trouble, and the papers loved it because they always had a front page story the next day. It was always, you know, Oasis star Liam in boozy brawl. That headline must have run 200 times in the 90s in England.
Liam started dating Patsy Kensit, who is a very famous actress in the UK. She was famous here for being Mel Gibson's love interest in Lethal Weapon 2. They were a big deal. It was like them coming out of clubs together and Liam attacking the paparazzi for getting too close to his woman. I mean, it was very intense.
In fall of 1996, the couple rolled into the prestigious Q Magazine Music Awards, where the media got a full dose of Liam's outrageous behavior.
Oasis had won an award, and Liam Gallagher went up to accept an award, and he decided to light a cigarette.
And he tapped his cigarette ash into Mick Jagger's hair as he walked past.
But Liam's belligerent behavior didn't end there.
He was exiting the awards with Patsy. A reporter showed up and showed a photo of Liam with another woman. Liam, got into a fight with this reporter, broke his camera, broke this, broke that.
By the end of the night, Liam found himself in police custody, charged with cocaine possession. But if rock stardom got him into trouble, it would also set him free.
Liam gets out of jail by signing autographs for the arresting officer's daughter.
When Liam and Patsy made plans to marry, the media's obsession turned into a frenzy. To escape the paparazzi, they were wed in a private ceremony on April 7, 1997, in a London municipal office. But mere days after they exchanged vows, the honeymoon was over.
He ended up having an affair with Lisa Morrish. So, Liam Gallagher gets married to Patsy Kensit, and then a week later, Lisa Morrish is like, I'm pregnant.
Just 9 months after the wedding, British pop singer Lisa Morrish gave birth to Liam's daughter Molly. Miraculously, Patsy and Liam stayed together, though the relationship was strained, to say the least. By comparison, older brother Noel's love life was downright conventional. In 1995, he took up with Meg Matthews, an artist liaison for Creation Records.
He was very much in love with Meg at the time, and I think when Noel was writing the songs that were on What's the Story, Morning Glory, he largely credited them to being inspired by his then-girlfriend Meg Matthews.
Noel and Meg married in Las Vegas in June of 1997. Neither brother attended the other's wedding, yet another sign of the increasing acrimony between them.
Noel and Liam figured out a way to negotiate each other. They don't talk much. In fact, they don't really even look at each other. When they're apart, they make nasty references to each other. I don't think the antipathy is an act. I think that they often genuinely wanted to kill each other. But that's, of course, a product of love.
Later that summer, Noel and Liam entered Abbey Road, the legendary studio of their idols the Beatles, to record their third album, Be Here Now. But Oasis weren't haunted by the ghosts of the Fab Four. They were driven by other demons.
Noel talked about at that time, I mean, we've done everything we set out to do. We're the biggest band in England. According to him, they were the biggest band in the world. And it was like, what's left? And it turns out that what's left was lots of cocaine.
Oasis, I think, was knee-deep in snow at that point. Liam was a lush. Noel was a lush. And the two of them were just being lush drug heads together.
Noel claims that he wrote all of the great Oasis songs while he was on cocaine. And he took that to its zenith with the next record.
With heavy cocaine use and swelling rock star egos, it was no surprise that the Be Here Now sessions became overblown as well.
It was excess in every way. The songs were, as opposed to 4 and 5 minutes long, they were now 7 and 8 minutes long.
Guest musicians like Johnny Depp, string orchestras. He was recording everything. And if you look at the album cover, it looks like everything has been thrown into a pool, and that's kind of like an example of what the album sounds like.
I thought it would be a cool idea to record a plane landing and taking off. He figured that would be a fun way to start off a song. So he did it, and he sent the tapes to his record company, and they heard it, and they were like, what is this?
The bosses at Creation Records were worried. Would the self-indulgent and cocaine-fueled third album prove to be an embarrassment for their top-grossing band? But when Be Here Now was released on August 21st, 1997, the reaction was overwhelmingly positive. Oasis fans stormed record stores.
In England, it was the fastest-selling record of all time. So it sold a huge amount of records in the first week.
Be Here Now sold almost 1 million copies within the first week of release.
Oasis seemed poised to exceed even their own record album sales. But then, as some at their record label had predicted, the backlash arrived full force.
The initial buzz was, oh, it's a great record, but then I think when the record actually sunk in and people actually really listened to it, they were able to distinguish it from the first 2 records and thought, well, you know what, they're not up to the right standard, they're not up to their own standard.
It was a massive letdown because everybody had loved Definitely Maybe, they'd loved What's the Story, so, you know, I think Be Here Now was the moment when a lot of people fell out of love with Oasis.
Within days, people realized that this record was not very good, and it became almost a joke. The joke in England was that that you couldn't go to a record exchange or a yard sale without finding a copy of Be Here Now for years after that.
For many, it wasn't just a creative misstep, it was the downfall of Oasis.
All of a sudden, their arrogance, their cockiness, their king-of-the-world attitude just looked foolish. It pretty much stopped their trajectory.
It was sort of hype and then fall from grace in one move.
I think one thing that Noel regrets, he says we should have taken a couple of years off just to get all this rock star stuff out of our system.
For the first time since their massively successful 1994 debut, Oasis had lost their way. If they wanted to come back, the Gallagher brothers needed to make some major changes.